Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the second episode of How to Fix DBD. If you're new here, this is a series where I cover a few games, and during the games I'll explain, things that are broken in the game, that are unbalanced, and I'll give actual solutions on how to fix them. That the devs could apply if just solutions in general. So this game I was playing, I think I was playing the Twins, and I'm pretty sure it was against Survivor Friends. Now I'm getting these matches like all the time nowadays because for whatever reason, especially since the crossplay, because I have crossplay enabled. Some people ask me that in the comments sometimes. I always have it enabled, and it just keeps matching me with Survivor Friends from PC all the time, like sweat seems. I don't know if that has to do with my MMR being too high or not, but it just like every single match there's people with unbreakable, like 4 people unbreakable DS and shit like that. It is quite annoying, especially if you're playing like a mid to low tier killer, kind of like I am right now with the Twins. Even if I win, I mean, it's still pretty annoying to play the entire game in general. So, I've been playing mostly nice because of that. Now, getting to the game. So, first problem with the game the devs need to fix is the early game. This is pretty bad. Like, you see, there's no pressure when the game starts. This is always bad, but the survivors can do the gens right away, but you cannot find them right away. So, that's something that needs to be fixed as well, because that usually makes it so you lose your 3 gens by the time you get the first chase done. And then it's essentially what should be a 4v1 with 5 gens is essentially a 4v1 with 3 gens just because of how bad the early game is set up. But anyway, I managed to find my luckily I know where the spawns are, so I don't take that long to find them. But you see my ruin was gone right there as well, which is another stupid thing. How to fix that? You just need to make it so there's a timer. Like, I don't know, the totem has to be active for at least like 1 minute, kind of like Corrupt Adventure does, but by default, but not by using a perk. Like, the totem cannot be broken even if he gets found for a certain amount of time. That would be an easy fix for it. Or it just, better the totem spawn system, but I don't think they can do that. Like, the survivors would just memorize the locations every time, so it has to be a timer for this to be avoided. This is just stupid, like, the game just started and I'm already like pre-perked essentially. And I'm playing no add-ons as usual. Now, this is the first problem, is really the sounds in the game. This is pretty broken as well and unbalanced. You probably couldn't hear that, and also like I didn't. But you see, the Neo was right there. I was literally looking for her and trying to pick her up, but I couldn't hear her. So I thought she crawled away, even though I was literally stepping on her. But the game sounds are broken, so she was literally making no sounds, even though she's not using Iron Will, as you can see here. That's just a bug that happens sometimes when they're on the floor. They make no sound. It's just so stupid. But you can see how it influences the game. I had to chase her one more time because of that. So that's gen time wasted essentially just because of a bug. Now I wish that was a bug for no terror radius. That would be pretty fun. I'm sure the survivors would enjoy that. Like no terror radius sound, just like I can't hear it on the floor. Pretty fair, right? So yeah, those are like two problems, 3 problems already with the game. You saw right there so far, and the game has barely just begun. So I'm gonna try to apply more pressure here, because you can tell it just like I mentioned earlier. Like by the time you get the first down, there's a few gens already popped, just because of how bad the early game is set up. Like the survivors start working the gens immediately, but you haven't found anyone immediately, so you have no pressure, but they have all the pressure in the world. You already started at disadvantage. That's stupid. It shouldn't be that way. They should have to work or do something before they can start working on the gens. That gives you time to find someone and start chases happening. Start hooks happening. Otherwise, the game becomes a 3-gen 4v1 instead of a 5-gen 4v1, which obviously a 3-gen is not balanced at a 4v1. Like a 5-gen alone is already it's already hard to keep, let alone a 3-gen. So again, I'm just buying pressure here. Now you see that now I'm pressuring 3 people here at the same time, so only one is not doing gens. Right there I was making sure she could struggle because I want to get her out of the game, because yeah, as you can tell 4v1 is impossible to win, so we want to short that number down as soon as possible so we can become halfway fair. Otherwise you can't hold the gens, especially with the killer like this that has like 0 mobility around the map. And is not entirely like a nurse when it comes to chases. So they save her in front of me, which is obviously a mistake on their part, but that essentially gives me a free 10-0 chance. I could have hit her right there, but I didn't notice she vaulted. It was pretty stupid as well. She shouldn't be vaulting from this angle. It's safer if she continues to look like this. It's safer. But now I can use Victor, and she's pretty much dead regardless of what she does here. Because he's way faster than the normal. I don't know the name of the female one, but I'll just call her the normal killer. See right there, Unbreakable, another kind of broken thing in the game. So that was a 2 down right there. And just because of this perk, now it's only a 1 down. Okay? She got away simply because I had to focus on the Nia because of that stupid perk. Now, obviously that is broken. Like the way you fix that, there should be a requirement for using Unbreakable. My solution is always make it so they have to heal 2 people off the floor before they can use Unbreakable. Kind of like a charge system, just like Metal of Man. Like you have to take protection hits. That should definitely be a requirement before you use Unbreakable. We cannot just use that like for no skill and no requirements whatsoever. You just like go up and kill the killer's pressure. You know, it's just dumb. But you see right there, someone came to heal her apparently because she already used their Unbreakable. Keep in mind as well, Unbreakable also increases how fast they're recovering from the floor. Otherwise, she would not have been picked up that fast as well. So there's like a 2 bonus to that single perk, you know? Like getting up by yourself is already not strong enough. There's still the bonus that you're actually recovering faster on the floor. As you can see, it came into play there. So another problem with the game, I think, is it shouldn't be a thing, is how the survivors can do the gens without healing. So you see, like, how the fuck are they doing the gens this fast if I have this much pressure? You know, I'm constantly like pressuring 3 people. Well, it's simple. They're not healing. You know, they're not wasting any time to heal. They're always at the gens. I don't think this should be a thing, especially on Survivor Friends like this where they're coordinating. That just breaks the game, breaks the gen speed. I don't think it's a problem that they actually do the gens while injured, like because you might not have self-care. What you're gonna do then? You're not gonna do a gen, you know? I don't think it's a problem that they do a gen injured. It's just that they shouldn't be doing a way to fix this. They should be doing it at like maybe half speed if they're injured, you know? That would be a good fix for this. Like, okay, you can do the gen if you're injured, if you don't want to stop to heal, but you're gonna do the gen at half the speed as a penalty for being injured while doing the gen. You know, I think that would be fair because it breaks the strat. This strategy is way too strong where they don't do the gens, don't heal to do the gens. Right there, if you couldn't tell, that was another Unbreakable. The Claudette had an Unbreakable there, even though that person healed the other one. The Claudette got healed. She actually got up with Unbreakable right there. So again, just killed my entire pressure. What would be essentially like the Claudette would still be down right now, for example, it would essentially be game. I would be a 4K at this point. But because she had Unbreakable, now I have to down her again. And again, no skill, no requirement whatsoever. She can use a super strong perk that completely kills my pressure. That I totally earned it with skill, you know, unlike her that just gets up for no skill. Which is again, like I mentioned, how to fix that simple. Just make it so she has to follow a certain requirement before she can use a perk to get up by herself. I don't think it needs to be removed because that would kill the perk. Like if you cannot get up from the floor anymore, that would kill the perk. I don't think that's necessary. Just make it so, you know, she has a follow requirement to where the perk is still strong, but it is balanced now because there's a requirement. You cannot just use it at any time like that. You have to build up to it. Because you right there had to do everything again simply because of Unbreakable. But yeah, that's another problem right there. Like you can imagine, like if I wasn't playing twins and I didn't have that speed with Victor, the fact that they were doing the gens without healing, they would have easily finished that gen right there. You see how they were co-oping as well because they're again Survivor Friends, so they just coordinate everything and they're gonna co-op on the gen that's almost done instead of a solo queue where you wouldn't even know how much progress the gens have, you know. So right here I'm just kind of pissed off in a way, not so much, but I'm like, okay, you're not surviving this because you're playing like a sweaty fucker, so I'm gonna make sure you die. So I'm just like not giving her any chance to she might have deliverance too. There's so many perks they can use, so I'm making sure she doesn't use any of that shit before I go find the other ones. I want to make absolute sure that she fucking dies. We're playing like a sweaty. So yeah, now I just have to find the other ones. But yeah, like I was mentioning, I already know what the hatch is as well, so they're not getting that shit too. Which is just another stupid thing. Like, why does Survivor have so many second chances? Like, you know, they're already using all these perks and they still have like hatch, taking 4% off the hook. It's like so much stuff. Like, why? Just why? You know, if they're good enough, and they were playing pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you see how fast they're doing your gens. The speed of the gen is already fast enough. You don't need second chances. You know, second chances is when they're actually fucking up so bad that they should be losing the game for it. You know, and that's when the second chances come into play, and they unfairly, in my opinion, because they take no skill for it. They just revert the game into the survivor favors. Even though you, as the killer, you're doing all your job correctly and you're actually playing skillfully with skill, and you're winning the game. You're being a good killer, but you get punished because they have a perk that has no counter to it, essentially. But yeah, that kind of mention about doing the gens without while being injured. Like they purposely will not heal just so they can do the gens faster. I think there should be a penalty for that. Like you do the gens 50% slower or something like that. So yeah, you can still do the gens, but there's a penalty. So it's in a way that's more beneficial for them to go get the heal if they can, rather than just working on the gen. You know, I think that would be better. It would make it so they're kind of running around the map more, which will engage with the killer more, which is actually where the fun of the game is where you're interacting with the killer. Both as a survivor and as a killer, the fun is when you're interacting with each other. And if you're just sitting doing the gen, there's no interaction. It's just boring for both parts. And the game gets super imbalanced because the gens just fly by and the killer can't do anything essentially. So I think that would be a simple fix. Just make it so there's a penalty, because then there's an incentive for them to actually go heal themselves instead of like sitting at the gen. Just an incentive. I don't think you need to like take away their ability to work at the gen while injured, but that's something that completely breaks the game. The fact that they can do gens without healing, especially if you're playing like a really low tier killer like Legion, for example. He's really bad on chases to the point where you can even loop him while injured, just how bad he is on chases, or the map layout is so strong. You know that so by having that little penalty, we completely avoid this from being a thing. So you see right there, that was two unbreakables. They both got used as well during this match. And you see most of them are PC. It's just like always. I'm telling you, like I always keep getting these PC players. But guys, those are a few. You see, I still won, but there was many issues and unbalanced issues in this match. I just gotta work was better than the issues itself. But yeah, that's how a few solutions to those problems. They're very common on your games, especially the ranked ones. And yeah, that's the video. See you guys in the next episode. Take care.